Hey guys, what's up? My name is Natasha and you're probably coming from my Instagram or my TikTok, and if you are, what's up? Thanks for coming to my whatever this is. I asked you guys on my story and on my TikTok if you guys would like to see paranormal story times or creepy stalker kidnap experience story times, and a lot of you guys said both. The majority said both. Basically, I'm just gonna jump right in and make this video. This is so unplanned, guys. Like, literally, it's so unplanned. It's probably gonna come out so bad, but honestly, it's a story time, so like, how great can a story time be? Like, you're literally sitting here just talking and telling a story, so like, here we are. I'm gonna make it both. Because they're like kind of shorter stories, so I'm probably gonna say like 4 stories, and I'm just gonna pick random ones as we go. Some paranormal and some creepy. I'm just gonna jump right in. Also, a disclaimer, I know how hard it is to trust story times. Believe me, sometimes I hear stories and I'm like, are they making it up? You know what I mean? But I'm the realest person I know, if I'm gonna be honest, and a lot of my friends think so too. I do play a lot. I play a lot of jokes, but I always say, oh, I'm just kidding after I'm playing, you know what I mean? But these are 100% true. I wouldn't lie or make them up or like over exaggerate them to make them more interesting. That's just stupid in my opinion. Why would you make a story up to entertain someone? If you want to believe me, you can. If you don't, I totally understand. It's really hard to believe some story times. These are true, and as much as I hate to say it, they're 100% real. And I've had a really I've had a really interesting life so far, and I really hope that it's the end of this, like the creepier stuff and the scarier stuff. So get ready. I hope it doesn't scare you too much for the younger audience. I really hope it doesn't scare you too much. If you think it's going to, just don't watch it, because I don't want to scare you guys. So I'm just gonna get right on with it. This intro has been way too long. And then comment down below which one you think was the best and the creepiest and the scariest and your favorite. Okay, let's go. Okay, so this story, it was in my old house. So I would say it was around 2014, 2015. And my best friend at the time, we don't really talk too much anymore. I'm not gonna say her name, so I'll just call her, let's call her Sam. So me and Sam, she always came to my house, and I always had this strange feeling about this house. It was pretty old, but I had a strange feeling when we first moved in. I always trust my feelings. This was kind of the first house that I started feeling feelings in, because any other house I lived in, and I keep in mind I moved a lot. I probably moved around like 7 or 8 times as a kid. I moved like around 7 or 8 times. So this was the first house that actually gave me like the heebie-jeebies. It was scary, but at first I was like, whatever. I'm probably tripping. My mind's probably like somewhere else right now. I've seen too many horror movies, so I thought, you know, I was going crazy in the head. So I was like, whatever. I brushed it off. I was like, whatever. A couple days into, I'd say like a week about living into the house, my mom was outside and she was kind of like gardening, because we had like roses in the front yard and it was pretty cute, and we had some like plants. So she was out there just enjoying it, our new yard and whatnot. And this lady comes up and she's like, hi. And my mom's like, well, hi. I wasn't there, so I don't know the conversation, but you know, casual talk. And the lady just randomly goes, yeah, I used to help take care of the property for the lady who died here. My mom comes into my room. Ow, okay, there's something in my eye. My mom comes into my room and she says, you won't believe what just happened. I said, okay, like what? She was like, our neighbor just randomly came up to me and said, a lady died here. And I was like, you're lying. You know, like, if your mom told you that, you'd probably be like, stop playing, you know? So I was like, you're lying. And she was like, no, I'm being like serious. Ever since that moment, I was like, well, my vibes are probably right, to be honest, because what's the coincidence? You know, like what's the chances of me getting bad vibes before I hear that, and then I hear that and I'm like, amazing. I love that for me. So we end up, that was a little bit of a backstory about moving into the house and whatnot. So we ended up living there for 4 years. A lot of things have happened, and I will do more story times if you guys want me to about this house, because there's so much, so much that has happened. And if you believe in paranormal stuff, you'll find these very chilling. If not, it might be a little harder for you to believe, but I'm just gonna get right on into this story. Jumping into the night that I am talking about in this video. My friend Sam came over and we were hanging out, and she always slept over constantly at my house. So she came over and we were hanging out with my mom, my little sister, my mom, my little sister, and then me and Sam. Well, we were in the living room, and on one side the wall was all mirror. Like the whole wall was just a mirror, which is really creepy to start with. And then the other side was a rock fireplace. And then we had TV in like the corner by the fireplace. And then, you know, we were just hanging out there. We had a beanbag and a couch, and we ended up falling asleep at around, I'd say like 1 o'clock, because we were just hanging out for so long. I remember my mom and my sister left because, you know, they had to go to the room. And then so me and my friend Sam, I fell asleep on the beanbag and Sam fell asleep on the couch. Keep in mind it was like around 1, I believe. And I remember waking up at probably 6 a.m., 6 in the morning. And it was kind of just getting light outside. The sun was rising. And I look at the couch and I'm like, bro, what the hell, bro? Like, you guys left me. Like, they left me. And I just remember being so tired, and I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna go to my room. That was really creepy. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go to my room. I'm not even gonna be a little, like, I'm just gonna go in my room and fall asleep. I go in there. My friend Sam is in there, sleeping on the side of the bed, holding her phone in her hand like this, like in a praying position almost. And I was like, okay, like, you really left me out there. So she was sleeping. I decided to go on my side of the bed, which is like it's not this room, it's the old room, but I'm always on the wall side, so I went and fell asleep on the wall side. I fall asleep, end of my side of the story. When we're both awake, my friend Sam tells me, hey, like, why'd you leave me in the living room last night? And I said, what do you mean? Like, you guys left me in there. And she said, no, like, don't lie. Like, I know you went in your room. And I was like, I swear I am not lying to you. You're my best friend. I did not leave you out here. You left me. I remember waking up at 6 this morning and going into my room, and you were there laying down like this. And I explained it to her. She goes, okay, dude, like, don't freak out, but I woke up this morning, 6 o'clock, same time. You were gone. You weren't on the beanbag. So she was telling me, this is from her side, you weren't on the beanbag, so I went in your room and you were facing the wall, sleeping like this. Same position she was, just facing the wall. And my face wasn't showing. She said my face wasn't showing, so she just assumed that I was sleeping, because that's how I always slept. That's how I always looked sleeping. We always constantly spent the night at our each other's houses. So she just went on and fell asleep. So when we were talking about it the same morning when we were both awake, we just got chills. And to this day, talking about it at nighttime, like, now I'm talking about it, it's fine. But talking about it at nighttime, I get like, I want to cry. Like, it's that scary, guys, because what are the chances? That house was already very, had a lot of entities in it. Like, it had a lot of bad feelings, a lot of, like, they weren't good feelings, they were bad feelings. Like, dark. And, whew, I can't breathe. Basically, we came to the conclusion that we had fallen asleep with, I don't know if it was like a demon, or if it was just a ghost. But it was weird because it was in the form of us. And we both saw it. And we didn't tell each other that until she brought it up. So we both had experienced it and saw it. That's probably one of the scariest paranormal stories I have in that house. If I don't look into the camera a lot, guys, like during these stories, and I'm looking over there, it's because, like, I'm really concentrating. And sometimes it's hard to look into a camera and concentrate. Moving on to the next story. It's a really short story. This one was kind of creepy. Probably, like, the scariest, like, perverted one I've had, besides the other one I'm going to talk about in this video. Basically, I would always go to my friend Sam's house. Sam from the last story. We were always hanging out. We were best friends at the time. It was summer, and we just had graduated from 8th grade or something. I went to her house, which is like her grandma's house, which is right by our middle school. And we would hang out there because it wasn't crowded during the summer. It was kind of fun to just play around in the street. So we had brought our little speaker, and we were obsessed with dancing back then. Let me tell you, we would always make dances up. We would always dance together. We'd always be like, check this out, like, ha ha. Like, we would just dance, you know what I mean? We were also in a dance school for a while together. Fun fact about me, if you didn't know that, I was kind of a dancer-ish. I don't consider it, but I did go to dance classes for a while. So anyways, we were dancing in the street because there's like no cars. Like maybe one or two passed by every like 5 minutes. So like it was like no cars whatsoever. So this guy drives by us, okay? He drives by us in the car and we're like by the sidewalk. We're still in the street and he's like, you girls ought to watch out over here. Like, okay, maybe not in an accent, but he was like, you girls better watch out. Like cars can hit you and stuff. Like it's scary out here and stuff. And we were just like we didn't know what to say because we were like two like, you know, like 8th graders, like 14 or something. And we were like we literally just stood there, looked at each other like, okay, thank you. Like, we didn't know what to say. Like, what do you say to a guy that says that? Like, we were like, okay, we will, thanks. So he drives off and we're like, that was a little creepy. Like, what the heck? But we were just like, whatever. He was probably just trying to be like a nice guy and like warn us to be careful. So we didn't really think much of that. Continuing on, we started walking back to her grandma's house about like probably 30 minutes later, I'd say. Like we were kind of like, it was getting hot. We were like, okay, let's go get water. Like it's getting boring also because there was like all we were doing was just dancing in the street, you know. And we were like, okay, let's go get water from your grandma's house. We start walking back and it's not too far. It's basically like you walk down the street a little bit and then you turn and it's like right there. But we were walking down the sidewalk, walking straight, I guess you could say, from the street that we were on. So we were just walking straight. And these guys come in their like gardening truck. And I'd say they're like Hispanic or something. And they come in their gardening truck. Like, you know, those like ones you always see with like the tools in the back and stuff. So they drive past us and we're like, why are they slowing down? I was like, we were next to each other and like we were freaking out because we were like young. We were like 14. We were freaking out and like we look at each other and we're like, what the heck? And then they were like whistling at us, yelling at us like, hey, come here, stuff like that. And so she starts running straight to her grandma's house. My panicked, dumb runs into the dirt, like into the like trees and stuff. So I'm running. It was like a little like water, I think like you call it like, how do you say it? It was where like all the water goes when it rains and like when like things get washed out from the city. I forget what it's called, my bad. But I run into there and they're like still yelling and they stop, like they're stopped and they're like yelling and then they take off. Like they take off and I'm like, oh no, they're going to go get my friend, Sam. But they luckily like passed her. That was one of the scariest moments of my life because at that time, I had no idea what their intentions were. Were they gonna just like whistle at us, like yell at us, say these things and leave, which they did? Or were they going to stop and kidnap us? And that's what was going through my mind because no one was outside. It was way too hot to be outside. It wasn't a crowded neighborhood. People were at work. Kids were inside if there were any kids in the neighborhood. So it was just us in the street. No one was out. And no one was even driving. So at the time, we were just like, oh my God. Like, if we get kidnapped, that's it. Like, that's it. Like, that's literally all. That's it. Like, we were dead. But yeah, they left. Come to think of it, like when I thought of it afterwards, why did my stupid run into the worst place possible where I would have been like stranded, or they could have met me on the other side and kidnapped me, or like there was nowhere for me to go. I don't even know how to explain it. Like there was nowhere for me to go. Like she chose the right choice. I was dumb and I panicked. Like I just ran the wrong way. It's a bad habit of mine. Yeah, that was like the scariest, like almost kidnapping, like I don't know if you consider it kidnapping, but like a creepy person story, if that makes sense. It was really scary. Like, it might not seem scary to you guys, but it was scary to me because it was me in this situation. Like, I was young, I was 14, I was in middle school, you know? And look at these little twig arms. I can't fend for myself in situations like that. It's freaking gnarly, bro. So we're gonna talk about another paranormal story. The reason I'm putting so much stories into this video is because they're kind of short. Especially after I edit them, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be really short. So we're gonna see. The next paranormal story I have for you guys is, I feel like I'm gonna save the Ouija board one for another story time if you guys want me to. This one actually gets me like scared no matter what time of day it is. But I have to do it for you guys because I said I would make these videos. Alright. Sam is in this story as well. Sam is in like all my stories because she's always been with me in the past. Basically, like I said, we were always sleeping over at each other's houses. I was at Sam's house this time. And basically, me and Sam both get really weird feelings about paranormal things. I'm talking really calm right now because like this is a really like scary story that still haunts me to this day if I think about it or talk about it. So I'm really calm in this story. Alright, just so you know. So, we were at Sam's house and we were getting ready to go to bed. It was really late. We were in her room and she was taking off her makeup and I was making videos on Video Star. This was around like 1:30 to 2 o'clock, I believe. So it was really late and her parents were sleeping. They even said goodnight to us and her dad's room was in the back. And we know they're sleeping. They say goodnight and it's really late and they never stay up past that time. Because, you know, they're workers, they're hard workers and whatnot. And we were just hanging out. Wow, I'm really quiet right now. You can tell I'm like nervous to talk about this. We were hanging out in her room and she was taking off her makeup in her mirror. And her closet is like one of those mirror closets. Like I have the same one, but it's a closet, but it's a mirror. So she was taking off her makeup and I was jumping on her bed and there's a flashlight on the footboard of her bed, kind of, if that makes sense. There's a flashlight there and it was off. It was off, okay? And this is a story that a lot of people don't believe because they're like, oh, it's just a coincidence. It was probably your parents. It was probably you jumping on the bed that caused it. But it wasn't, okay? Like, we don't have a video anymore because I'll get to that part about the video. So I was recording me dancing around on the bed, jumping around. I was young. I was like 14. I was jumping around on the bed and I was recording it. And it was 99 Problems by Ariana Grande. Okay, whatever. That was a bad impersonation, but it was Ariana Grande, 99 Problems. And I hate listening to that song because of the story, and so does Sam. I'm pretty sure she doesn't even like that song anymore. I was jumping around, and then the flashlight falls. And we're like, oh my god, oh, the flashlight fell. So I stopped the video, and we were like thinking nothing of it, like, oh my gosh, you knocked the flashlight down because you're dumb, you were jumping in the bed. It just fell because of that. But then I was like, ha ha ha, okay, yeah, you're right, blah blah blah. Let's watch the video I just made. You're in the background. We watched the video. And we rewatched it. At first we didn't notice anything, but we rewatched it and we said, wait, look at the flashlight. And she was like, look at the flashlight. And I was like, at the time I thought it was because I was jumping on the bed too. But the more we watched it, it looked like it got almost slid off, like as I can't find like a thing to like. You guys are just gonna visualize. It was kind of like, say this is a flashlight, and it almost looks like someone like slid it across and like knocked it off. And not only that, the flashlight turned on in midair. It turned on in midair as soon as it fell off. It didn't turn on when it hit the ground. It didn't turn the floor. It didn't turn on when it hit the floor. It turned on in midair, and that was really scary. But then that's not the scariest part. We know her parents are sleeping, like I said before. We know for a fact. We just, like, you guys are gonna have to trust me on that. We know for a fact. Oh my god, I don't want to say it. Like, I know I seem like a little right now, but it's really scary. We watched the video again. Her door is open, so the hallway, it's like open to the hallway. We see it, like a hand go like this. No joke. I'm sorry, I seem so scared because I am. I don't like talking about the story. It literally was in the video. And we kept that video for so many years. And the moment that I tried sending it to one of my friends to prove it, my phone literally, and I mean literally, breaks. Now, people that believe in paranormal stuff, ghosts, whatnot, demons, entity, blah, 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 you guys will know exactly that I'm telling the truth. My phone literally glitches out and it breaks. I'm not even playing with you guys right now. And I was always up to date on phones. Like, my parents spoiled me with that. Like, not to like flex or anything. Odd flex, but okay. But like, not to flex or anything. But my parents always kept us up to date with phones. And it was a pretty new phone. And it glitched out and it broke. And I lost the video. I lost everything. Because I never back my stuff up with like iCloud or anything. Because I just like don't like going through all the trouble of signing up for it and stuff. I know it's stupid, but it's the truth. But yeah, so that went down the drain. And ever since then, every time that song came on, you know, years after when we hung out, that song came on, we're like, turn it off. Like, we hate this song. Like, people would ask us why, like, this is such a good song, it's Ariana Grande. And we were like, yeah, it's a good song, but like, you don't understand. Like, we're not even going to get into the story. And when we did get into the story with some people, they were like, you tripping. Like, there's no video, there's no proof. And if I had the video, I would show you guys. And you guys would literally be shaking in your freaking seats or your bed or wherever you are, you know. You guys would be like, what the hell? She's like telling the truth. So yeah, that's that. It's probably one of my scariest on like the top 5 list is that story. I'm gonna get on with one more story about a pervert. We're gonna get into a pervert story. That's always fun. So this story, I hate this story. It's like not scary, like it doesn't scare me. The story is just like creepy. Oh my gosh, now that I come to think of it, I'm home alone right now. And I'm talking about all this like paranormal. Okay, it's fine, whatever. You're fine. You're fine. Okay. Pep Talks 101. I used to be a cheerleader. Fun fact, I was a cheerleader for a couple years in, I think it was elementary school. I was a cheerleader for a couple years. I think it was middle school. Like, I think it was, yeah, it was middle school for a couple of years, or for a year. And then another year in middle school, like another team and stuff. So I was a cheerleader for a while. There's another fun fact that you guys didn't know about me. I know, I don't seem like a cheerleader. Crazy. I wasn't like a serious like all-star cheerleader or anything competitive. It was just like football game cheerleading for like little leagues, if I think that's what you call it. Yeah, because my brother was a football player, so I was cheerleading. And my best friend at the time, Sam, again, I know, right? Well, she cheerleaded like competitively, I believe. Like she's really talented. She's a really good dancer, a really good cheerleader. She can do like some cool stuff, like flips and everything. She was more all-star-ish kind of, if that makes sense, like competitive. I don't know much about cheerleading, but yeah, she was more like competitive tumbling type of cheerleading. I had a trampoline in this is the same house that I've been talking about in all of these stories, the scary one. A trampoline in my backyard, and then basically, you know, everyone has neighbors. Most people have neighbors, and there was like a brick wall dividing. It was a pretty big house, and it was my neighbor, so we knew our neighbors. Like, we're always friendly with our neighbors, no matter what house we live in. So, well, I'm so out of breath, oh my gosh. Probably because it's my second cup of coffee today. At least it's not my 4th again. Basically, the neighbors, there was a guy with black hair. Like, he had blackish hair, I believe. And it was kind of, I think it was just him and his wife, I think. And that's it. And they were really nice people. Like, they were so nice. Like, they were good people. But, you know, we had 2 neighbors, one side and one side. And we were just jumping on a trampoline. It was me, Sam, and my little sister. And my little sister is really little at the time. How old she was? She was really little, 8? Yeah, she was like 8, I think, around there, 7 or 8. And so we were like jumping on the trampoline. You know, we were still young, so we were messing around like, oh my god, look, I can do like a herky, I can do like a, I forget what you call them, stuff like that. We're like, ha, look, I can like twirl a bunch of times. And we were just messing around, trying to like acting like we could do all these tricks on the trampoline. And this guy comes out of my neighbor's yard, the big house one. Like I said, there was only 2 people living there. So, you know, he comes outside, he's walking, I see him. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, he's just like walking in his yard. And then I was like, wait, who is that guy? Like, he looks weird. And guys, he looked like a pervert. Like, he looked like a guy that would be like a murderer or like a guy that kidnaps you in his van. Like, I'm not even kidding. He looks like the guy in Lovely Bones. Just look him up. He had like a mustache and like brown hair and like glasses. I'm not even kidding. Like, I wish I was kidding. Like, that's like a hell description right there. Oh, he's walking. We're like, whatever. Like, he's just like, you know, probably like a guy that's like visiting them. I don't know. He leans over the wall. Like, just like he's like rests his head like this kind of, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like, on the wall. And he's like, hey girls, what you doing over here? Like, in a weird pervert voice. I don't know if that's a pervert voice. How do you explain a pervert voice? And he's like, hey girls, what you doing over here? And we're like, trying to be nice, because we're really nice girls. Like, we're really nice people. And we're not like, oh, like, why are you talking to us? Like, you know, we're not like that. Like, we're really nice. So, you know, I've always been raised to be like kind to everyone, and like, that's just how I am. I love being kind to people. So my little, you know, 14-year-old self is like, oh, nothing. Like, we're just doing like cheerleading tricks. My friend's a cheerleader and stuff. And then he was like, oh, really? That's so cool. Do some tricks for me. And we're like, oh no, we're like done, I think. Like, we're just like gonna go inside or something. Like, we've been like doing this for like a couple hours. And he's like, come on, show me some tricks. What's the one that you're doing now? And we're just like, oh, like, like, no, like, it's okay. Like, we're trying to like get out of the situation. Like, you know, obviously we were like, we wanted to stay out there more, but when he started talking to us, we were like, so what do we do? Like, oh, we're going inside, you know, like, we're not gonna stay out here much longer. And he's like, we're like, no, like, it's okay, like, we'd rather not, like, we're gonna go inside, we're kind of tired and stuff. And then he was like, he kept like trying to get us to do it. He was like, come on, I love that stuff. Show me the one where you jump up and do that with your legs. And we're like, whoa, like, that's weird. And then, so I feel so bad for this, but it's okay, because like, I like panicked and my friend understands, but I was like, oh, she's a cheerleader, you know, she's the one that like does all this stuff. I can't do that. And I threw her under the bus. I know you guys are gonna hate me for that, but it's okay, she doesn't hate me for it. Yeah, that's like, I panicked. He was still there, and then she was like, oh no, like, I'm not gonna do that. And then, you know, because we were trying to get out of it. All of us, we knew. And, like, my sister's little, so she didn't know what's going on. I was protecting her. He was like, come on, just show me. Don't you want to make me happy and stuff? And we're just like, okay, like, bye. We literally, at that point, I was like, you know what? Forget being nice. You're being a pervert. I'm literally, like, I'm telling my dad. Like, I didn't want to, because, you know, when you're in situations and you don't want to tell your parents because you're like, it's like awkward, and you kind of like you don't know what they're gonna do, you don't know like what they're gonna say, it's kind of awkward for you. But I was like, you know what, hell no, this is about to be like he's about to come over here and kill me in my sleep, or like take me out my window and murder me. Fuck no, I'm gonna go tell my parents. So I went, me and my friend Sam, we run up to my dad and we're like, Dad, there's like this guy on the neighbors, he doesn't look like the neighbor. We're panicking, we're like, he's trying to like tell us to do all this stuff, and like he's being a pervert. Like, we knew it was perverted. Like, come on guys, like, that's straight up perverted right there. And so it was like, he was like, okay, we'll talk to the neighbors. And so we wait like a couple days so it doesn't draw really any suspicion in a way. And so we go, the neighbor's pulling out of his driveway, I remember it, he was in his black car, and he pulls out and my dad's like, oh hey, like, can I talk to you? And he's like, yeah, like, he was a cool neighbor, like, he didn't care. He's like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, the other day, like, my daughter and her friend, they were jumping on a trampoline, you know, doing all these tricks, and there was a guy in your yard. We don't, like, I don't know who it is, not trying to be rude, but he was saying some remarks to my daughter and her friend that were very inappropriate. And he goes, oh, that must have been so-and-so, which is weird because I remember it wasn't a friend of his. I forget who it was. It wasn't, I think he was watching the house or something, because I remember he mentioned that he wasn't really close to him. So it was, I'm not gonna lie and tell you guys something that, like, because I don't remember it, but I just remember him mentioning that they weren't like friends or anything. They were just like acquaintances in a way, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, he was watching the house or something. So he said, I'm really sorry about that. It won't happen again. He won't be coming back here in time. That was one of the most perverted stories, or perverted like moments of my life. And it was pretty scary. I wasn't too scared. I think I was more just like grossed out that this guy was trying to get us to like do tricks and like spread our legs for him and stuff. Like, I hate to sound descriptive, but that's how it was. He was literally telling us specifically, do the one with your legs in the air for me. Like, don't you want to make me happy? Like, no. We're 14 years old, keep in mind. So he's about to catch a case for both, bunch of many different things. But anyways, that was that story. If that ever happens to you guys, tell someone. Don't be scared to tell someone. Like, if I didn't tell my parents or like my dad, then I don't know what would have happened. To be honest, like, probably nothing, but you never know. So if anything like perverted happens like that to you guys, then, you know, just tell someone. That is the end of my story time video, because I just wanted to put a bunch of little different stories in there for you guys, because you guys wanted both paranormal and creepy-ish. But I have plenty of other stories. If you guys want me to tell some more, I will definitely do that for you guys. Just comment down below which ones you would like to hear. Creepy, paranormal, any ideas you have, I'll probably have a story for them. So yeah, that's it. If anything weird happens to you, like people chase you in their trucks or say something to you, or you know, they're just creeping on you and you feel like it's scary, tell someone, because you might be wrong, but you could be right. And a lot of times your intuition is right, your guts are right. So listen to yourself and believe that you're right, because it could be too late if you don't say anything, if something could happen to you or your friends. If any paranormal stuff happens, I don't know, I don't really have advice on that. Just hang in there, tell someone also if you want, if you're comfortable and your parents, you think they'll believe you. Tell them, but there's not much you can really do about that in my experience. That's really it. I know that those might be a little too scary or a little too creepy, but you guys wanted to hear them and I wanted to share them because I have so many stories. I hope you guys believed them, because I would never over exaggerate things or lie about them, because it's kind of just dumb. I would just do another video if I didn't have any cool stories to tell. All my friends and family love hearing the stories I have, and like me and my friend Sam always tell them when we meet new people and stuff, and they love them. So I figured, why not share it with you guys? Don't waste a good, you know, good moments. Not really good moments, but interesting moments. I'd rather share them with you guys so you guys could be like, wow, like that's pretty cool. I recommend you guys do it too. I hope this kind of inspired you to just like share your stories and experiences. And yeah, like I hope, go ahead. I can't talk. I'm really shook right now from talking about all that and drinking this coffee. Yeah, that's it, guys. Stay positive. I love you guys. Make sure to subscribe and like and comment down below what videos you would like to see next. Any story times you'd like to see. I love you guys. Follow your dreams. I don't know. Now, my intros and my outros are always awkward, so I'm just gonna go. Bye, guys.